Hooray. Working correctly. That's functioning. That picture's not right. Who cares? That's good. Okay. I think we're ready to do things with cleaning. Sorry I started so late. I was watching this afterwards because there's no one on very much. But had a trip to the grocery store that took a little longer than I expected, though it wasn't very busy. And I was trying to finish eating before I started this, but no. Don't you know, Rob? BJJ is canceled forever. No, I couldn't really get anybody that wanted to like come and train and do the thing. Or we had some people, but one guy's wife got sick yesterday, so he's like, I'm not going anywhere, which is smart on his part. But yep, let me know if you can hear me okay with the sound of the game and stuff. I haven't streamed from up here in a while. So no, unfortunately, no BJJ today.
Shortly.
I know, it makes me sad too. The wife was not up to doing streaming today. She has a lot of things to do today. And like I said, one person I was going to train with, his wife got sick, so couldn't really use him. So I decided to kind of do a couple other things instead. And now I'm here doing this. So, productivity. How was your time been and
Enough
stuff?
practice. Time for the real thing.
So I don't know. I think for me personally, I'm just going to train with a very, very like small number of people and kind of keep in talk with them. Because I have the little spot if you watch last week's stream, I have a space there. I can kind of have other people there. So I think the plan is to kind of do that as much as I can, and then see how things go. Sorry, I was like a technical cheat before I started this, but sorry. I'm gonna go to the superstore. So it just depends. Like if, like I go to a training a lot of times, so if they close, I'll have to figure out what I want to do and everything. So I'm kind of playing it by ear right now. Worst case scenario for me here is like I can just plug in good enough to just train in the basement.
Proceed to the marked location and secure the area.
I am considering doing like maybe nightly streams, depending on if like everybody's closing or like these places aren't really having things. I might do like a stream every night or something to kind of, I don't know, maybe take advantage of the fact that people are kind of bored. But it seems like some places are taping open or some places are doing different little things. So it's interesting to see which places do what, which places close, which places come up with other options. Because there's no like playbook for this. I don't know if Goku is closing. I don't know if they've made an announcement yet, one way or the other. Part of me hopes not. Hold on a second. Let me not die here. Part of me hopes they don't, so I have options, but at the same time, like, I don't know who's going to show up to class each night and stuff, and I think during this time I'm going to be a little bit more picky at who I train with and stuff, so I'm I'm gonna wait and see what they say they're doing and kind of go from there. Yeah, you think nightly streams would be good? Might be a good idea. Ingrid might get tired of it, but it depends. You know, I might like see about this invite in like one person. Yeah, the guy to my right. I needed to just bail on that. Yeah, so we'll see like how that works. If maybe I talk to one of my friends or whatever and get them to come over to train and then they can stream with me or whatever. Then we'll see. This gun takes forever to reload. There's hiding it. How's your training been going and everything, Rob? Have you been training lately, or have you taken a break because of this? Or? Yeah, no, that's true. That's kind of my thinking. Well, and the thing is especially if like, especially if a lot of places I would go, like our clothes and stuff, it's gonna kind of free up. Have a lot of things to do in the evening before I'll have free time in the evening, so I might as well do it. Yeah, I was kind of bummed too. Kind of sucked, but it's a smart thing to do, and you can reschedule it. It's like, I know some people were kind of bummed thinking they worked hard to like get ready for something and then didn't do anything with it or whatever. But it's like the work itself is you're getting a lot of benefit from that. So. All right. If ground control stays open, what's your plan? Are you going to go and still train, or are you going to just like basically hibernate for 2 weeks? Or
Heading there.
Watch for it.
Count completed. Enemy UAV overhead.
That's definitely understandable, sir. You know, I kind of feel like it really depends. I'm using the wrong thing, but change the apex.
Moving.
Hold on. I kind of have the benefit or the luxury, I would say, is that what's up, I will be better. Is like if I have one friend I know that's like healthy, been okay for days, and going around getting sick and stuff, or they don't kind of keep them to themselves. You know, I can just say, hey, come over, you know, and what are you shooting at? What are you shooting at? and like just train. Come over to my spot and train. We're certainly shooting at people in this area, but I can't see anybody. I saw your post on Instagram or whatever. That you got 30. I think you said you won your first match by submission, lost your second match, won your third match by points, I think. Where are we going, guys? We're gonna kill these people, that's what we're gonna do, right?
Loadout drop inbound.
That's right. That's awesome. Is there any way or where I can see him or whatever? If you care to see, for me to see him. You don't have to share if you don't want to. It's no big deal. I'd be interested to watch. I could give my thoughts if you care about my thoughts, obviously. Ooh, bounty, eliminate, bounty target.
Bounty target
Right.
is up. Let's get it done.
Let's go kill this dude. Hey, going, good catching up.
Loadout drop headed your way.
Let me think. Can't shit. Ooh, whoa, whoa, whoa. I got you guys, don't worry. Take it back. Anyway, so do I get the cover for that? Or do I get the down? I guess it really doesn't matter. Come on out. Ah! What was that? You guys.
Stay alert.
Did we kill them? Wow, 14 seconds. And now I've never finished a match that fast myself. Nice going. Let me think about how maybe are the videos like saved on your computer, or are they on like Google Place or Facebook? Ooh.
I'm moving up.
Oh, nice. Alright, who shot him? Where'd they go?
Gas moving in.
Alright, we're gonna find out.
I'll call you.
Find out. On your phone.
I see movement.
Let me think. Do you have a, hold on, let me not get my team killed. Screw it around here. Where are these shots coming from?
I'll call you.
Because here's the deal, if you have a Google account, I can share like a folder to you. Oh Jesus. I can share a folder to you where you can upload the videos to the folder. And then
I see movement.
so that's one way we could do it. It'll just take whatever time
If you survive, you
we'll
earn
do
your
to
freedom.
upload it onto your phone. I don't know if you have Snapchat. I do have Snapchat. What is my Snapchat? Let me see what my Snapchat is.
Time for a bit of argy-bargy. You can always have a go at these bastards while you're waiting. Give them some choice words or smash their mugs with a well-placed
So in this game, if you die, you get pulled off to.
Fight's begun.
Okay,
Get ready to fight. You're next.
let me see my Snapchat. 1 second.
You win this fight and you return to the front line. But if you lose, you're done here. You're up, soldier. Now go sort this fucker out.
My Snapchat name is JONG316.
Got gas inbound. Safe zone relocated.
Pretty sure that's it. Go make some of this. You can add me on there or whatever. Nope, those words will let you in. Listening to. Why is it? She's supposed to be playing a playlist I have, and this is not on that playlist. Oh no, my face is frozen. This has happened on here before. Hold on a second. Let me adjust. Where's that? Yes. Add. Second, this. And we're going to add a.
You've got gas moving in.
There you go. It's still frozen though. Look at that. All right. Well, let's try something else here. God dang it. Alright, give me a second. Let me see if I can fix this.
The enemy took that one, but we'll be back to finish the job.
It all. Alright, give me 1 second. I might have to like stop the stream and restart it real quick. So just stay on the page though. I'll come back. Hooray, I'm moving again. Look at that. It's amazing. We did it. We accomplished something great. Awesome. Look at that. This one right here. See that? Alright, let's try that again. added you on Snapchat. Ah, that's a bummer.
Get yourself a proper warm-up. We'll be deploying soon.
More here.
Warm-up's done. Time to kick this off. Battle Royale. All right, soldier. Mark a drop point for your team. Gas is closing on your position. Suggest you get moving. You land here.
I have to be a responsible squad leader here. Hold on a second.
Contact! That's our drop zone! Contact! Disregard that.
I'll take a look at this. You're never going to feel well going into a tournament. I found that just whether I'm like legitimately sick in some way, or if like just my anxiety is messing with me. I'm generally not happy with the whole process. Generally wondering why I competed. But then you get over that and you have matches. So. Q. How do I do this? Oh, okay. Okay. Well, that happens too, and that sucks. But
teammates in the gulag.
Oh, okay.
If they survive, destroy.
Taking fire!
kind of easy when they make it that easy. Alright, so I have a video on here. I'll watch it after this match. The cringe looking back at it. Hey, yeah. All my first matches, like my early matches.
Your teammate got a proper sortie. Sending them home. You're all that's left. Get it done.
I don't say I never enjoy watching them because they're kind of funny, but they can be cringy. Like, what the hell am I doing here? Or like, oh my god, look how terrible I'm doing. Oh, here. There was someone behind that door. I guess he was just hiding behind the door waiting for anybody to walk here. I could have been loud.
Welcome to the gulag. If you survive, you earn your freedom.
Alright.
The fight's begun. Get ready to fight. You're next. Win here and you return to the front line. You lose, your fight is over. You're up, soldier. Now go sort this fucker out. Your ass kicked in that one. We're sending you back to base. Enemy took that one, but we'll be back.
Well, that's the thing to remember, like when you're looking at your competition matches. stuff is that, like, sometimes you're gonna have no, experience, they're gonna have a lot. Sometimes once you've run it a bunch of times, you're gonna have experience, they're gonna have none. It's like, so it's, maybe they wrestled a whole bunch before, it's their first competition, but they've wrestled a whole bunch, so they're used to competition. There's a whole bunch of different variables, so that's why it's like, competing is just another spot to test yourself and see what happens. Alright. How do I find... Okay, here we go. I'm gonna take this, hold on. That's not what I want to do. I want to take this. Yes. Alright. So, would you mind if I watched it on here? Like if I took this, I switched this out and I put the video on the screen here so we could watch it together? Or would you rather me just watch it to myself and then comment on it? Because I can understand if you don't want to. I think you're the only person on the chat here anyway, but okay. Uploaded. Alright, give me a second. I'm going to okay. Close that. We're going to do this. So I'm going to minimize that. Do this over here. Move this up here. Excuse me. We're gonna change that. Hopefully stay. Those are the mats, type of mats we have at my place. Alright, let me is there a way, you know what, I'm just gonna close out of this so it doesn't have sound in the background the whole time. Alright. Okay. It was recorded landscape though. If it's sideways, I might be able to flip it. Let me just watch a little bit of it and then see. Okay, so it's gonna be like this. Alright, so give me a second. Switch over to this. Oh, I got this machine. I guess yes, desk over here. Alright. So we do that. I know there's a way to flip this. Is it here? There has to be a way of doing this. I know that. What would that be called? What would that be called? Give me a second. Let me see if I can fix this. If I can't, then I'll just watch it. I'll just watch it sideways. Rotating. Rotate and save video. Yeah, go to tools, effects, filters. From the adjustment effects, go to, oh Jesus. Okay, but I can do that. That's fine. So, tools, effects, filters. Tools, effects, and filters. Oh no worries. This is fine. This happens to me all the time, so it's really no big deal. I could just watch it sideways. It's no big deal, but I prefer to just figure out how to switch it. It shouldn't really take me that long. It's probably boring for anybody that wants to watch this, but sorry to them. Adjustments and effects. Go to video effects. That's where I am already. Sub tab video effects says geometry. Aha. Rotate. Oh, there we go. Oh, is it going to cut it off though? That's really weird. Oh, actually, what am I doing? No. There we go. Rotate. Where was there? Here we go. We've accomplished the unaccomplishable. Look at that. All right. So you're the one with the green and yellow belt on. I should grab Ingrid and make her watch too. She was interested in this. But I have it. I'll show it to her afterwards. Sorry, I'm still eating, everybody. Oh, shush. Yeah. All right. Good. He did a bad job of pulling guard there. He was trying to get his foot on your hip, but he didn't do a good job of that. And then that's good. See right there? That's good. So I'm going to pause this right here. Hold on. So already you're doing really well with that, because what happens here usually when people are just starting to compete or they're like white belts or whatever is they get there, right? And this is exactly what happens. The other person pulls guard poorly or whatever, and they get down and they end up in half guard. So many matches I've watched where like two white belts end up in half guard. But what happens is the person that's on top usually is not good at keeping the underhook on the each on your right side, or as the person starts to bump and everything, they lose the underhook or whatever. All three of your opponents pull guard. Yeah, and that's the thing. If they don't feel comfortable with takedowns and stuff, they're going to pull guard. I prefer to try to make the person pull guard. That way they, then I don't have to take them down, and then I can start passing. But if you saw he was bridging a lot and trying to do stuff, and you just kept the underhook on the one side to keep him as flatten him back out. So he's just, spending a lot of time and energy working, and you're keeping the position pretty well. And because you already have what looks like, well, hold on, let me see. Okay. So you see how your arm's not under his head right here? That's the only thing I think I would see that could be done better there. Is just you want to fight. Now that you have, you're doing really well with this other hand, keeping it with underhook. You somehow managed to get swept. That's okay. It happens. I'm just telling you right now, you're doing really well at these things. When you do something poorly, I'll stop it and I'll tell you what you did poorly too. But see how, he's not trying to shoot this underhook, but because he tried to bump you a bunch of times and you just kept the underhook and kept it where you could flatten him back out, it's good. Now all I'd like to see you do is take your left arm and try to get the underhook on his head here so you can flatten him out completely and establish and get your weight on him. If you get swept here or you lose this position, I'm guessing, not seeing in the future, but I'm guessing it's probably because you don't get this underhook back. And somehow, because see how without that underhook there, he can kind of still stay a little flat or kind of go down and get under you a little bit. You're doing good on this other side, and it's going to make it hard for him, but he would have nowhere to go if you had the underhook on the head here. So let's see where we go. Yeah, see? So that's it. Yep, that's all it was. So I'm gonna go back here, and that's, like I said, this happens. So it's like, don't worry about it. It's just I'm gonna tell you where the mistake is, and just try not to let that happen again. So all it is now that you have this position, like when he's bumped here, this is where if you get the underhook here, two things are gonna happen. One, you can flatten him back out, and you can put all your weight on him. But what it also stops is what happens. Because all he's doing is kind of turning, and because all you really have to do is take your arm and base out, and what happened isn't going to happen. But until you have more experience, that's the thing. So you have to be patient here. Yeah, you tried for the pass. Oh, you know what? I should probably put the chat in here. Hold on a second. That way other people that are watching can actually see afterwards. I guess if they're on Twitch, they see the chat, but whatever. Give me 2 seconds. Copy source. Hold on a second. Boom. Oh, copy filter. Copy. Back. Paste. Move that over there. Make it a little smaller. Whatever, we'll just leave that big. Okay. Sorry there. Anyway. So yeah, so what happens is, because you're not getting the underhook on the head here, when he turns up, I'm guessing your arm is essentially blocked by his head at that point. And because he's turning and your arm's blocked by his head, you can't put your arm down, or you just don't put your arm down. And he kind of just rolls you over because he's grabbing here, so you can't move your leg out. So this is just, as you get better from keeping your base from these positions, this stuff won't happen as much. So it's not a big deal. It's not the end of the world. But as you see right here, if you had, see how you're putting your knee in and he's pulling your knee in towards you? So now you have no base out here. You have nothing. You can't really put your leg back. And you should be taking this arm and putting it up here, like coming up to your hand here to base out, because then he can't turn you over. But because you don't, he just kind of rolls and you kind of get rolled over. So just remember here, you want to get your base back, because what you could do, because you still have the underhook on this side really well, if you put this hand down and lift yourself up or elevate, you can then take this knee and drive it through and step this foot out and go to a knee cut on this side. But this is like, I didn't, it took me years before I was able to do this kind of stuff like easily. Do you see how he just kind of lifts and uses that grip on the other leg to lift you up? Look, you need the thing come back. Okay. See, by the same token, if he had better base on that side, you wouldn't have been able to roll him as well. But I like that you're standing up. You just have to be careful here, because anybody that's really good at arm bars, they're going to attack arm bars when you're pushing like that when you're standing. But I like being on your feet. Ah, look at this. Oh, I'm going to go back a little bit. I'm laughing about this a little bit. If you look, he's kind of wrapping his arm around your arm. I don't know if he has a grip. If you watched our stream last week, we kind of covered this a little bit. I'm guessing he's not going to do it as well as we did, but... see that we don't want to do. There's no reason. Don't ever kind of attack the arms like that from the guard, because you're not going to Americana somebody like from that. You're going to end up letting them control your arm. I mean, I want to say it will never work, but it won't work at it. Basically, it will only work very. Yep. See, we put our arm back. We have to be very, very careful about that. We can't. And he did a good job of like seeing the opportunity for it. But what I like here is you're very, very calm, which is what you have to be there from the triangle. You just keep it calm.
Get on, Josh. You flipping around.
There you go. There you go. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Keep control. Keep control. Very good. We're close, but he's not controlling your thumb. Yep, push that leg off and come up. Very good. See, good job. That was great. That's really good there. Because that was. So here's the thing. Let me pause that real quick. Here's the thing. If he was better at arm bars or better at basically controlling your thumb, you probably wouldn't have been able to get out of that. But you kept moving it. It looked like you kept moving it the whole time. He couldn't really get a good grip on it, and that's what allowed you to keep moving and get out. And then you did exactly what I do. When I'm stuck in an arm bar like that, I kind of get to a point where my arm's a little safe, and then I start attacking, getting the legs off my face, one way or the other. Because if I can get under the legs and get them over, then I can come up just like you did. You just have to be careful. Good people will transition, and they can still keep their arm bar, and they have to transition their position. But that was great. Like, and I think the calmness you kind of were showing. Maybe I don't know if you get stuck in triangles a lot, so it's like, just stuck in another triangle. But watching it seemed like, he just seems like fine being stuck in a triangle, no big deal. The other weird thing is you look a lot, at least in this video, which is a little grainy, but you look a lot like my cousin Adam. So this is kind of weird. Yeah, see what we need to do here. See how we're staying low. It looks like it's going to probably work out for you because he doesn't do a good job of it. But if you see how right here, see how he has a control of everything, and he has his feet. Well, see, he didn't do a good job there. Hold on. So see, he gets a cross collar. It looks like he got a cross collar grip and a sleeve type grip, and he gets up on his elbow and pushes with his foot on your hip, and see how you're extended out. This is where we need to posture up. Like, we need to see our heads down here. We don't want to be with our head down here. We want to start posturing up and start to get that foot off our hip. Problem is, he probably has a grip. Well, is this your hand? Let me see. Yeah. See how your hand's so low and you're all very low right here? That's what we don't want, because now he can attack everything. Like, if he wanted to Kimura this arm right here, or he went to go Kimura, there's nothing stopping him from getting a really great Kimura. All he has to do is take his left hand here, put it on your wrist. This other arm reaches over, grabs it, and he just sits back to his back, and your arm's stuck. He's got it. But it looks like you pressure down, and he kind of gets flattened out more. And you start getting over his feet. It's just here is where we're really vulnerable. We're here right now. So you have to be careful about that. Yeah, see, he went to the other side. He's trying.
Go on, Joshy.
See, like right now, and this is again. Please remember, any criticisms I say or something is just me critiquing. I could literally show you like my first match after this if you wanted to, where I'm basically sitting around doing nothing the whole time. It's terrible. So, but you see how his guard's wide open here? If you started to get back to your feet and pushed off of him and elevated up, he would basically have no control over you. He might have control over like a collar or something, but you could elevate your hips up and push his legs and knee cut through or step over, because he's not really keeping you down with anything but maybe his grips right now. Yeah, so that's fine, because we could keep the head down but elevate our hips up and then basically pass. Because if he's controlling the top of us, but the bottom of us just passes, then the control on the top doesn't matter as much. We're in side control. We have them in side control. So he's kind of giving you an opportunity to basically come up and get out of this. But I don't expect you, remember, I don't expect you to you have to kind of be here a bunch of times and feel it and then kind of get comfortable to where it's like, you know, your first competition, you know, matches. Let me put it this way. You could do really well at this particular thing in the gym training and still not do it well here at competition. It took me a long time before I could do anything well at competition that I did well in the gym. Because you just get focused on, you get so, you know, you kind of get single-minded, and I'm just going to, you know, just get heavy on them. Just, you know, whatever, push that leg down, just whatever. You're not kind of thinking like you do at the gym. See, he doesn't like that you're being heavy on him like that and tight, but you have so many opportunities. So yeah, see, he's making it easier for you to. That was good for the six pack, but yeah, see, he was a bad guy. See, he kind of gave you that there. There you go. Up. You can see our hips are way too high. Now we just need to stay close. Stay close to keep that grip if we could. Nah, it's okay. Alright, see how he's really attacking that? See how you're just kind of sitting there waiting for him to do so? Oh, there's no more time left. I see it there, there's no more time left. He's so tired. You know why he's tired too? Probably from all that grip thing. You said he had collar grips and hold you and stuff. That will tire you out big time. Awesome. Alright. Let's switch this back. Let's see how we can do this. Alright. I realize there's colors in my shirt that are getting chroma keyed out. Alrighty. Bum. Can I do this? Alt. Make that easier. Alrighty. We'll close that. Very good. And you said you won your oh, you got another video? Okay. Send it to me the same way. I'll do the exact same thing. While you're sending me that, I'm going to start a game of Apex. Probably move me down a little bit. No. How is this so? That's weird. Strange. This next one is embarrassing. Well, then I really can't wait to see it. Look, everything embarrassing is just an opportunity to get better, or to, at the very least, laugh at ourselves.
Science is unapologetic.
Follow me if you want
As
to
am
win.
I.
All right.
Today is gonna be our day.
This is your champion.
Oh, that's not what I wanted to do.
I don't
Damn it.
relish the title. I relish the kill.
All right, give me a second. It will. It's
land
uploading
here.
now. I think it is. Let's see.
Copy that.
Oh, the whole Masters and Guard.
It's opening season.
It's okay. The good thing
Let's
is
do
I have
this,
the ability
brothers.
to skip through it, so I don't have to sit there. If it's
Dropping in.
all guard.
Hang on.
Like I said, my very first competition match was nothing but guard.
Good luck, brothers.
I think I have to change my Twitch game thing on here.
Let's explore this way. Round 1. Beginning ring countdown.
We find ourselves inside the next ring. How serendipitous.
Here's the truth. I like that other game, the Call of Duty game, is actually really fun, but
First
it
blood.
takes so much goddamn time to play. Like I can play 3 games of this in the time I can play one of those games. It wasn't a boring match. It was just frustrating. Okay. I'm uploading it now, so as soon as I'm done with this match, I'll check and see if I can get to it on the... Jesus Christ, die you fucker. Fucking fudge. Fudging heckin' scallywagon. Dead.
Contact with target.
Yeah, so that's the thing. A lot of times when it comes to ref decisions and stuff, it could be really, it could be anybody's, like, guess who should win or could have won or should have won, or sometimes it's just like, the one guy looked like he wanted it more. It's like, at that point you're just coming down to whatever that specific referee values more. So you never know. Oh.
Thank you.
Alright, let me see here. All right. Hold on a second. Actually, can I? Can I? Sorry, I'm just seeing if there's a way I can like take this chat thing out of here. Doesn't seem like it. Okay, so let me know when you're back. I will start another game in that case. All right, I think I'm done with this.
Science rules all. With its help, we will too. Just give me a shot, and I'll shine like the sun.
I don't push the envelope, I shred it.
Introducing your champion.
No one did. We could check out here.
That's good to me.
Very well. Heard that.
Let's go over here.
More people there. Oh, Jesus.
Down.
Deployed.
Shit.
I'm taking a shot. Reloading.
Oh, this game's over anyway, so that I guess the timing's gonna work out. Unless somehow this guy can kill all 3 people by himself.
Round 1.
We
Beginning
cannot.
ring count. Attention.
Alright. Let's see here. Let's go here. Let's go here. We'll go boom. And we'll go. Alright, so he pulls guard. I like you trying to get the knee in. At least he tried there, but. Not sure why you gave him a penalty for that. Hold on. Hold on a second. Move this over here. There we go. So I know it's supposed to be an illegal grip. The problem is, it looked to me like he gripped outside the, like on the edge of your, excuse me, knee, which shouldn't be a penalty. Oh, well, you know what? Never mind. Yeah. Oh, no. Yeah, he's grabbing inside your ankle, pants, ankle spot. So never mind. Yeah, that's definitely a penalty. So he's trying for a little bit of choke there. Now he's trying to go cross collar. So this is the problem. If we're going to play heavy like this, where we're going to stay close to him, there's going to be a lot of chances for them to do like loop chokes and cross collar chokes and things like that. But the other thing is you have to like you're not really trying any passes from here. So there are passes. There are guard passes and things you can do from here when you're close in and tight in to them like that. You're just not doing any of them because you probably don't know any of them. That's fine. I will tell you the name of 1 or 2 of them so you can look them up, because this isn't, you're not doing a bad thing necessarily from inside the close guard there by being close. The only problem is you're limiting that. See how you're controlling that arm like that and holding that? That's what I'd like you to do, to pin it to the ground, and then we can trap it under them. I have one of my streams I showed this, but you trap it and then you use it to pass their guard, because it's So now we're once we postured up there, I want us to stay postured up and start to push and try to break open his guard to get away.
Hey, Josh.
See, because what's happening here is you're staying so close that they're opening their guard because they're not worried. They're trying things like that because they don't have to keep their guard closed because you're not trying to get out of it. You see, so you're going to run into problems where you can sit. Yeah, so you can get attacked here like this. You see how he's now starting to get a grip here, so he's starting to attack Kimura. He's not getting it, so he kind of gives up on it and grabs the belt instead. He's trying stuff. See, this is the thing. This is why, if I was judging, I would still give him the win in this case. Except for if he's grabbing inside your pants. Because he's grabbing the belt, he's trying to do sweeps. See, he's trying sweeps. It's not successful. But now he's trying to go back. He's active. And you're kind of just staying heavy on top of him. Which doesn't equal winning. Like in wrestling, that equals winning. Jiu-jitsu, that doesn't equal winning. Because the object isn't to hold the other person down. It's to get to a more dominant position. And, it's ultimately submittal. The points are there because we're not going to get submissions every single time. But see how he's opening up. He's starting to play now. He wants to try to attack the triangle. posturing up, that's fine, so he kind of can't get out of that, that's good. But see, now he's opening up, that's where we can start to stand up and work on guard passes. And the thing is, you might not have a lot of guard pass options, like you might not have worked on a lot of guard passing at this point. So it's just working on that stuff, learning a couple more guard passes and starting to add them. So you're actually doing something here. Is that the end of the match? Yeah. No. So I see why I gave him the win. Because the thing is, if you look here, and I'll just explain this to you because it's easy to mistake this. But sorry, I'm just okay. So here, for example, so like I said, like from a wrestling standpoint, in wrestling and stuff like that, being on top is what wins. So sometimes you watch like MMA fights where there's wrestlers who they get the top position and they kind of just hold it and sit because they're like, I'm winning, I'm on top, and they can't get out. But that's not the goal in this. So the goal in this is to advance your position. So if you take them down and end up in this position, great, because then you've essentially taken it from a position where you're standing to a position where, without their wanting it, you're on top. That's fine. So he triangles his guard. That's fine. I mean, that's okay. Because see, he's opening. So there, what we can do is we can start to now, once we feel them open, we can start to stand up. See, he does have long legs, so it allows him to get a better grip there. But there's plenty of things we can do, especially, so, tell you what, let me show you something real quick. Let me see if I can find something real quick. Give me a second here. All right, where is it? Here we go. Let's see, who should we find showing this? Because let me see something real quick. Hold on.
Okay, guys, I'm here today. Phenomenal here. A huge honor for me.
Okay. So I'll show you this real quick. Sorry, I'm going on like a tangent here. So it's not necessarily so since so that's great. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is why competition is good. So you can identify something you need to work on and then start working on it to address it. My philosophy when it comes to getting better at jiu-jitsu is I just work on the things I'm bad at that time so they get better. So I'm constantly kind of working on my bad spots and bringing them up. So slowly my jiu-jitsu just as a whole gets better. So it's not better to be postured up or postured down in the guard. It just depends. So the thing is, when you're postured down, you're more limited in what passes and what you can do. And it also, the size kind of affects a little bit more because of like, if you're a smaller guy doing it on a much bigger guy, some of the close like pressure passes are a little harder to do, I've found. But here is an example I'll show you of, hold on, where did this go? Take this from over here. So here, let's just watch this and see what they say.
Grip initially on his armpit. I'm not gonna go straight for the underhook because he's gonna turn his body sideways and it's easy for he get my underhook over here. Boom. Alright? So I'm gonna get the grip and now look, I'm gonna walk forward and get my underhook deep and my head go over his shoulder. Now look, I control his arm and now look.
So this is a little different, but there's different ways of doing this. But if you see, the reason he can't do anything with this arm here is because his hand is kind of driven into his armpit and tight like this. So he can't get under anything. So he's kind of keeping him flat. And then he's getting his hips really low, which is going to turn the person on bottom's hips this way, but we're kind of keeping their top flat. And then we start to create pressure through. Yes. So I mean that's the thing. If we're gonna be in someone's guard like that, we have to have stuff like this
I place my weight
to kind of
on top of
use.
his leg.
Because if we're not doing anything like this, or we're not trying stuff, then we're just sitting there in their guard, and if they're trying things, they're gonna get essentially they're the ones being active, not you. But you see now the person on bottom, they're so locked down there, it's kind of hard for them to keep that grip on that. Yes, see this?
Now over here, look, I must change my grip to the knee and walk back.
We start to see how it unlocks all that, and now you can start to pressure through more, and you have other options. So I'm not going to just show you this video. You can look up the video. There's a name: How to Pass Close Guard Using the Sao Paulo Pass. Yeah. So that's the thing. Yes. So if you're you're smaller than them, then you're probably going to be faster. You need to rely on the fact that you need to move probably a little bit more than them. You can be heavy on them. You can do those type of things, but it doesn't necessarily. It's not as useful. It's not as effective. I've found. So that's where you're going to run into problems with that. Is that you're trying to stay, turn this down, heavy, but you're not really creating any opportunities for you to actually pass. But so here's the thing, what I find. Oh really? No, it happens. Oh. It's not your fault. You go out and do what you do. He'll learn from it, just like you're learning from, these losses and things like that. But just one more thing I'll say about this is that I find when you're playing heavy like this and making them very uncomfortable with how close you are to them, they tend to start opening their guard a lot to do things. To try to scissor sweep you, to try to pendulum sweep you. And I use that as an opportunity to now, instead of being in close to them, I push out and I get away and get out of their guard and then start passing. Either forcing the half guard or an open guard where I'm standing and they're, and making them defend my passes. Would your game be better, no-gi? So not necessarily, because you're going to run into the same problem. Maybe they don't have as many options because they don't have grips and stuff to use a little bit to attack from there. But you're going to run into the same exact problems where, So here's the thing. If we're in someone's closed guard, it's not a good place to be. We don't want to be there, okay? Technically, we're in a better position because we're on top. But here's the thing. If I'm the person on bottom, I have sweep options. I can choke you. I can armbar you. I have a million different things that I can do from this position right here. Okay? You, as this top person, have especially when you're playing the heavy game like this, you have two options, couple options. I had two more comps coming up, but coronavirus made them get canceled. Yeah, that's there was supposed to be a competition yesterday that got canceled, and a bunch of stuff's getting canceled in this area. So it's just everybody's just taking a break from it for a while. It's fine. They'll reschedule, or you'll just have more time to do more competitions later. But the thing is, so from this position as we're here now, the person on the bottom has plenty of options. The person on top only has a few. So now when you end up in a position like standing, for example, you have lots of options. Hold on, let me show you something real quick. So I'll just show you in contrast kind of what I'm talking about from one of my matches here. So in this match here, for example, you'll see he pulls guard, and I immediately am making sure that I don't end up in his closed guard. But then I'm just like, I start breaking down the things he has against me. So when you go into someone's closed guard, you're basically giving them the best position they can be in from bottom, short of having you in a triangle or something. So we don't want to go there if we don't have to. So I knew going into this match, you saw this match? But I want to show you in particular so he, if you look, he closes guard, or he pulls guard, right?
For the next 5 minutes.
And you see how I'm making sure I'm staying up, which is sometimes hard, they pull you down. But you see how I'm making sure, like right now, my knee is between his legs. That way he can't get a closed guard on me. The best he can get is kind of scoot his hips out that way and try to go for a closed guard. But if you look, you see how he has the grip on the collar here? So just like in a closed guard, if I'm in closed guard, they can get collar grips. They have a whole grip on my waist and everything. So to get out of the closed guard, I got to start breaking all that down. So it's the same concept here. I have the knee through, so he can't get a closed guard. So the next best thing he has is this collar grip. If I let him keep the collar grip, see how he gets it? But you see how I just immediately break it as I'm standing up? Because now that I'm standing up and I've broken the collar grip, I can control this arm so he can't get under. But if you see, he's basically playing catch up to me the whole way. Because then I step out, so now they're killing that leg. So I'm piece by piece taking away his ability to be a guard. So that's why we want to just try to make sure we don't go into closed guard when people pull guard. At the very least, we try to get into like a half guard, but we keep our knee in if we can. Again, like I said, it's easier to say that than it actually, it happening. But I just want to show you, and you see how he gets the grip back, but at this point, I'm in a position where this leg can't control me anymore. Neither of his legs have a lot of use anymore. So this grip doesn't mean as much anymore. With this other grip, with this foot on my hip, this grip here will kill me. But once I got this foot off the hip and I get over it, this grip isn't as bad. So I think I don't even break this once I get to here. I turn the corner and I grab his sleeve and I go. And as you see, so he never had the chance to control my posture or my hips or anything. But if I go back, I'll show you kind of like a vice versa type thing. And I'm just trying to show you like a, this is like just from like a conceptual type thing. Is that you saw how it was very important that I broke his grip on my sleeve. Actually, it came right to the exact point I wanted to look at. If you look here in this other match I had that day, so as you see here, he comes up, but right here, I transitioned my grip to the cross collar grip here, and he doesn't try to break it. And because he doesn't break this grip, you see right here, my foot's through. He's in the exact same position essentially that I was just in that other match. But the difference is, if you look, he comes up, I get that leg through, so I'm the one doing the controlling. But even without this, he never breaks the collar grip. And because he never breaks the collar grip, he can't posture up ever. And because of that, everything I'm doing with my legs and everything is much more effective. Can he get a butterfly sweep though? In the first match, the other match I was just showing, or this match? Oh, and sorry, and I'm the person on bottom here. So sorry, I'm the person on bottom here, not he's. I'm not the person on top. Sorry, I'm getting some messages here. Okay, it's just work messages and stuff. So tell me again, is when you say can't he get a butterfly sweep though? Can't you get a butterfly sweep here? So no, because here's the deal. I have no way of sorry. Oh no, it is good. Okay, so I have no way. Let me maximize this again. Not really, because right here. So if this leg was like right now, my leg and hips are under him and outside. If okay, yeah. So where we came up was I tried to get him, but I couldn't quite come up. So right here. So there's potential I could have maybe tried to butterfly sweep him that way from here. The problem is, you see how square I am right now? I'd have to shift a lot, and I wasn't because of where my foot was. I wanted to just come through for the single leg X because I like this position. I use this position a lot. But I want you to watch something, and it's the difference between what he can do from this position in this match and what I could do from a similar position in the other match. The difference is simply I broke the grip on my posture. What is X guard used for? It's similar. It's a similar position to this. I can show you probably in another video. Video where I use X guard in a competition. I don't think I have anything, but I can find certainly somebody using X guard. But X guard's very close to this. Like if like if he started pushing this foot off the hip, because I need to keep this foot on his hip to control. If he started pushing this foot off, I could kick this through and hook under his leg here with this foot, where my knee's pointing out this way, and this hooks his knee here, and that's X guard. Are you allowed to reap? In this competition, yes. In this competition, there's no reaping. You're fine. But even from this position, I don't want to, like, I think people get the misconception that because reaping is illegal, it's a beneficial thing to go into a reap when you can, if it's legal. And here's the thing, it's just like anything else. It's beneficial if you know what to do from there and you can use the position. But here's the thing, if you put your leg over and all the way through to reap, there's attacks on your foot that people can do. So you're kind of still putting yourself in danger in certain ways. So even though it was allowed in this competition, I generally won't reap from this position just because it's not beneficial for what I am doing. But I want you to watch his head here. Because do I actually go to X guard? I might go to X guard from here. I think I end up in like a weird X guard. In fact, I do. I think I end up in a weird X guard. Let's just watch forward and see what happens. But I want you to watch. If I remember correctly, I do play lasso guard. I don't play spider guard a lot. I use it here and there, but it's not something I regularly do a ton of. But I use lasso guard a good deal. But if you look here, look, he's trying to posture up, but he can't because he isn't breaking the control on his sleeve.
Let's go, John. Bump him back.
And see here, so this is right here. That was kind of an X guard for like a second. It was like a weird X guard. In fact, it was no, actually that's that. So this is kind of an X guard here. So I kind of transitioned to an X guard, but it's like a really loose X guard. But you see, because what happens is with this X guard, I have this. What should happen is this foot hooks up here on his hip, and then this foot hooks into his knee. The problem was a couple things. One, if you look, he's stepping on my sleeve here, so I can't get under here like I'd like to, but I'm still controlling his foot. So it's kind of weird. But if you look the whole time, I don't let go of his posture. If I let go of his posture it's going to allow him to deal with my feet a whole lot better. And there are a lot of guards. There are a ton of guards. So here's the thing. You don't have to learn all the guards. You don't have to know all the guards. And you certainly don't need to know and do all the guards before you're ready. So I wouldn't be concerned with that so much. So if you look here, because I have control of both his legs, he's kind of screwed. And this is a weird, like, almost... I switched X guard to the other side, and I should have came up there. And anyway, but but you see now, because I'm not controlling his posture, he probably has an opportunity to like posture up. He's kind of confused. He's looking over at what other people are doing, and I'm keeping a crappy control on stuff here, but he kind of comes back down. But anyway, the point being, this is called Grappling Industries. They have their own rule set. Essentially, at purple belt and up in gi, everything's allowed except for heel hooks and jumping scissor takedowns. That's no good. But everything else is legal.
What's up, guys? So we got a question from
blah 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 blah. I'm just going to show because he's going to show the position. So this is so X guard is very close to single leg X, because what happens is as they start to kill what we're doing in single leg X, we can transition to X guard. And what I like about X guard is I have such control over their base and kind of moving it around and stuff that it gives them a lot of problems. How did I find your Instagram? I think because you liked one of my posts, and then I saw. I don't know if I saw it after your competition, so I saw the pictures. I was like, oh, that must be him. Or if I saw it and I said, oh, that must be him, just because there's no way, like, he was just started following me about the same time. I think you would come across my stream. But if you look here, what he's going to do with this X guard is this knee's out the back, and this foot is going to hook up on the hip here. Now, see, he keeps it low. See, I like to keep the foot up here on the hip so I have control of the hip a little bit better. You can do it where you're here because you're chopping into the knee and you're keeping their knee from being able to come back in. But I feel you could do the same thing with the bottom foot. That being said, he is a black belt, so I would take his advice probably more than me. Yeah, I like Chewy. Funny story. I was watching one of his videos one day where he was talking about mindset going into competition, and I liked what he was talking about. So sorry, I'm going to jump back and forth here, but if you see with X guard here, what we can do is, because we have control of where their weight is here, they can't get heavy on here. We want to keep them from getting heavy here, and we can keep them from doing that by pushing this knee out. When we push this knee out, see, this leg gets light, and we can come up very easily. Yeah. So this is what we use X guard for. There's also transitions of X guards into knee bars and stuff, but I use it more for a position to sweep from. But there's ways of turning it into knee bars and things like that, or in no-gi, turning it into like heel hooks and things like that. So anyway, I was watching a video of his. He was talking about the mindset going into a competition, and like that week or the following week, I went to Atlanta to compete in the Atlanta Open, and I was talking to some of the lower belt folks that were there that, you know, were kind of, I think, a little anxious and stuff. And I kind of told them, I was like, I was watching this video, and the message was really smart, and it was this. And as I'm telling them the message and saying this, you know, it was essentially like, get into your game as fast as you can, because then win or lose, you got to where you're good. If they were better at you than they won. They were better than you. It's fine. But if you go into a match and don't do the things you're good at, and you end up losing, and you didn't do anything you're comfortable with and stuff, you're gonna just feel bad about it. You're gonna feel like, I should have just pulled guard. I should just pull. You know, if you go out there and you pull half guard and you're like that game and it just doesn't work out, you did what you tried to do, and, you know, whatever. But as I'm telling them this story, he just walks by, and he doesn't like hear me talking about it and stealing his thing. And it wasn't like I stole it. I told him literally that he was the guy that said it. But it was just funny because I guess he's in Atlanta, or that's where his school's near. And it takes time to figure out your game. But it was funny, just as I was like relaying the message from his video to some of these like less experienced people, he was just walking by, and I was like, and I literally said to him, I was like, oh, actually, that's the guy right there. That's the guy that was saying it. So he said that. So it was funny. And here's the thing. I think the long and short of all these messages is I have to go to work tomorrow. Found out I'm really good at darts and guillotines. Good. What's up, ZB Coin? Or Coin as it used to be, I'm guessing. I'm doing pretty well. I've just been playing some video games. In fact, I think I'm going to get back to that a little bit. We were reviewing some of I Will Be Better's recent matches and talking about a couple things, a couple options and things. But anyway, long story short, Josh, when it comes to this isn't wrong, but it's really limiting. So unless you know a couple things and you're good at doing this, only do this for a short bit of time and use it to start to posture up and break the guard and get out. And here's the thing, it's a whole process to learn how to break the guard and get out. I have a stream from a couple weeks ago, maybe 3 months ago, where I talk about breaking the guard and how I do it and stuff. So go watch that. It has some good information. Or just YouTube opening the guard or breaking open guard or whatever. I'm sure there's much more experienced people that have information on it. But so anyway, that is that. So I'm going to. Is there a better way to break triangle guards? Yes. There's definitely good ways to break triangle guards. Hold on, let me do this, switch, close this, switch this. Hold on a second, let me just reconfigure my screen here. So if you're trying to break open triangle guard, like if someone has you in a triangle, first off, the true answer to the best way to deal with triangles is to not get stuck in a triangle. But obviously that's, until we are really good at not getting stuck in triangles, that's not going to be very helpful information. So, oh yeah, your first comp was supposed to be this weekend. It got canceled. Yep, I know a couple people that their first competition was supposed to be this weekend and it got canceled. One of the competitions I was going to go and like kind of help with and stuff yesterday got canceled. So it just is what it is. They'll all get rescheduled. There'll be more competitions, so don't worry. And if you're bummed because you spent time like training and getting ready for something that it didn't happen, you still got better. You probably got better during that time getting ready for this thing that ended up not happening or getting rescheduled. You still got better than you probably would have during that time if you weren't getting ready for your competition. So take it as just as still a win. I got better. I lost weight a lot. Good. And losing weight can help, definitely, to help your game get better and stuff. Prepared to win. Yep. Good. So that's the thing. And here's the thing, they'll get rescheduled. You'll have other opportunities to compete. You'll have other opportunities to go compete. Obviously, it's smarter just to be cautious right now. But just give it time.
I don't fear anything. And
don't gain weight. Don't gain all the weight back. Try to keep the weight off until the competitions. It'll be easier than putting it back on and then and then losing it again. Trust me, I'm trying to drop some weight right now. That's hard to me. Yeah, it's hard for me to do. I know. Doing a lot of gain and lose. See, that's the thing. The trick is you have to maintain, like, get steady with something. Get down to a healthy way. And look, I'm not the best person to preach about this because I'm terrible when it comes to eating right and stuff like that. It's one of the things I struggle. It's one of the few things I really struggle with the most is that eating poorly and stuff. But what I found is the times when I've been able to maintain like a good diet and eat clean and take care of myself and stuff. My jujitsu, I need a weapon to go back and help these guys. My jujitsu has gotten a lot better. It will be 7 years of training next month. So next month I'll hit my 7 years of training.
First blood.
I
Has begun.
don't want this. There we go. I want that thing. And the thing that probably helps me the most with the fact that, you know, whatever the time I've been training, is that I've been consistent the whole time. Meaning, like, with the exception of like a few short periods of time where I had to take like time off because of health related things, which I think the most I've had to take off at any point was a month, and that was pretty extreme for me. Sorry, I'm trying to think about what I want to get and talk at the same time. So it's 7 years of pretty consistent training. So the gym I used to train at, I think, is staying open right now, but they're having different kind of classes. I think they're having classes where
Backpack here. Level
essentially, wait a minute, there was like a better, wasn't there a better, I thought there was a better sniper extended mag down here somewhere. Yeah, like most things in the area I think are closing. I think the places that are having classes are doing something where they're doing classes where it's like solo drilling and stuff, where they're not doing contact with each other. So it's like running drills and running stuff where you're not in contact. And things like that. So I think there's some places that are doing stuff like that, but I'm not sure. I think a lot of places are still trying to figure out what they're going to do. A lot of places in the area, though, have closed for like
The ring's close. 45 seconds.
at least 2 weeks. Basically until the end of the month. They close through the end of the month. So we'll see how things shake down a month from now when people want to start getting started again.
Only 30 seconds remain. The ring moves.
The distance between us is vast. Focus on your maps.
We're close to the ring. 10 seconds.
We're in quarantine. Yeah, if you're in quarantine, then no one's gonna be doing anything. Like, just to put it in perspective, we're not in a quarantine or anything like that, but everybody's kind of staying. Like I went to the mall a little earlier to grab some food, and there was really no one there. I should shut down.
Someone traveled through here. Target spotted.
I think schools are closed here for the next 2 weeks.
Attention. Delivering care package.
Care package coming in.
But the problem is, it's like, so think about this. All these, you know, schools closed, but a lot of people still have to go to work and stuff. So a lot of them are going to have to send their kids to like a daycare or something, which is basically keeping all their kids together anyway. So it's kind of defeating the purpose of them closing schools in the first place. I know of Boris Johnson. I don't keep up with stuff over that side so much. I'm relatively aware of him from afar, but not super details.
I'm taking shots. Portal's ready.
I'm trying to come and help my teammates, but they're so far away.
I've been down.
It's because they're so far away, not because I'm far away from my team. Got it. Got it. Got it. 2 down. Can we make it a third?
Throwing thermite.
I'm I'm straight up just stealing kills from these teams that are trying to fight. Oh shit. Alright, now I'm getting out of here. I mean, shucks. Oh, shucks. He's a very stupid man. Why do you say he's a very stupid man? Like I said, I don't know much about him. But I'm sure you have a, Captain Camacho, what's up, sir? Or ma'am? Who am I to hoist gender stereotypes upon you? He's just arrogant. Ah. What's going on?
Opening fire. Watch out. Another squad attack.
So he's arrogant, not necessarily stupid. Those are two different things. Although a lot of people who will call arrogant people stupid. I'm helping. Helping by showing up at the very last minute and taking a... Well, I didn't take a kill, actually. They got the kill. Need to recharge my shields. How have we been training? How has changed about the global pandemic? So recently, things haven't changed. So last week I trained twice. But this was also kind of when people were starting to get to the point where they were like, things are starting to shut down. Once, basically after Thursday, most things kind of shut down. So, it really depends on what the schools and stuff around me are doing and stuff. I'm probably not going to go to any like open mat type things where there's just people I don't know training. I do have the benefit when the schools close. I'm going to be sleeping and doing sprawls in my bedroom. Hey, just take advantage of the free time to get better at something, right? So, are we going through here? They don't seem to be wanting to follow me. Guess you're not being able to train. I can definitely understand being kind of nutty with not training. So, I kind of have a small advantage. And if you watched last week's stream, they are not following me at all. If you watched last week's stream, you'll see that I kind of have a space that we're going to be doing some stuff with. And so I can like just talk to one or two of my friends. Yeah, see, like you can roll with your brother. Like I have a couple friends that I can just keep up with, and as long as I'm healthy and they're healthy, and you know, if they have families, their families are all healthy and stuff, and they've been healthy for a couple days, you know, the two of us or them and one other person and us can all get together, you know, just a small group of us and train. You know, sorry,
Round 2, beginning ring countdown.
We have the benefit. We are inside the ring. Never mind.
There they are. Keeping him honest, making sure he knows I'm here. And making sure he knows I know he's there. So that's kind of my like my goal or whatever, or what my plan is just kind of get a couple people together to train, either at my spot, or I have the spot that I usually stream from is at my house. You know, have people come over and do that, so I can kind of. Oh shit!
Getting shot at.
That was a terrible idea, lady.
That completes the
If you're gonna snipe and not move, you gotta be really good at sniping. Because I'm gonna shoot you back. In fact, I moved a centimeter and it threw him off.
administering medical aid.
To be honest, that person just sat there and let me shoot them. So.
All Father, give me sight.
Oh, that's my teammate doing that. So fingers crossed I'll still get training in of some sort, but worst comes to worst, I could just make my wife train with me downstairs, beat her up for a little while. So yeah. Oh, don't leave that here. Don't leave that. All right.
Light ammo here. Optics here. Optics here. Close range.
I hear people up there. Do you recommend using a yoga ball for solo drilling? Yes, yes. Do you think should help in breaking down my fights? Yeah, absolutely. Josh, Abby, whatever you want to be called. Yeah, no problem. I'm glad you were able to get him to me so I could check him out. You did fine, especially for your first like group of competitions. You did perfectly fine. Yeah, you did the same probably better than I did in my first set of competitions. So, you know, fuck you. Sorry. Oh, who else wants some? Beak, come on out. I hate you and that nonsense. Sorry. Do you reckon using... So, yes, yoga ball for solo drilling. Yes. Get out of here. Ooh, shoot. Yeah, we all need help. Because here's what the yoga ball is going to really help you with is the movement drills. Like, find some movement drills, and what you're going to find... Fuck.
Reloading. Only 2 others. Shields are recharging. Down to subject. Independent variable added. My vision is clear. Independent variable added.
Why'd the poor person leave? I will save these people. What's wrong with them? Oh shit.
Recharging shields.
Sorry everybody, give me a second. I'm trying not to...
Administering medical aid.
Fuck, that was stupid. I got short-sighted on that. So sorry, back to the yoga ball stuff. So there's a couple different things that yoga balls can really help you with. If you're still in here listening. Sorry, I was trying not to lose. Oh, that was that. That was the last teams.
We have our Apex champions.
Couple things. One, there's some core strength stuff that I really recommend for your back that you can use a yoga ball for. That really help protect your lower back from injury because you're strengthening your lower back. With these kind of like essentially like reverse sit-ups basically where you lay on the ball and do some reverse sit-ups backwards, but then when it comes for movement drills and stuff, there's a couple things you can do. So the yoga ball is good for getting just used to moving your hip and rolling your hips and kind of almost like if you watch some really high level guys sometimes or whatever, you'll see there's almost like they're kind of riding the person below them. And it's because they can shift and move to keep their body kind of positioned where they want. A lot of that can come from the yoga ball movements and stuff like that. So I would definitely recommend that. And then, you know, if you have one of those like grappling dummies, that's helpful. But, you know, human surfing. Yep, this is pretty much what it is. You know, whenever anybody tries to do that to me, I essentially roll and essentially get to a position where they're not doing that anymore, simply because I don't want to be stuck in a position where I'm just like having someone float on me, because they're going to be able to react way faster to anything I do. So that's when I try to, usually they do that when I'm turtled or whatever, so I roll. But again, if they're good at it, they just kind of roll with it, and they like you said, they kind of surf on you, and it's frustrating, but it is what it is. You know, the better I've gotten at being able to do that. I haven't done a lot of yoga ball drilling in that respect. I've used my yoga ball more for, like I said, some core strengthening stuff or whatever. But now that I think about it, though, probably rolling around on it a little bit, like with what you're talking about, is a good idea. especially if I have some free time. I was telling someone earlier that I'm thinking about maybe doing a stream, depending on if places are closed, what's going on and stuff. I might try to do a stream each evening, since there'll probably be more demand for people to watch stuff since their gyms are closing and all this other stuff. So I just have to get my streaming system back. Yeah, absolutely. That's kind of why I do this stuff. And I don't know if you've been. I confuse names all the time and stuff like that, but usually I'm doing like a jiu-jitsu stream where I'm showing techniques and stuff, and I can answer questions and show stuff. But my wife wasn't into doing the stream today, and all the people I was planning on training with this morning had things come up, so I didn't really have anybody to do a stream with. But it's okay. This is fun as well.
I feel most alive when yes.
Earlier it was someone else, Camacho. How long have you trained? And if I know you in real life or whatever, and you're just like, hey dummy, it's this guy. I'm like, oh, no, never mind. I very rarely can remember people's screen names. Or I know people by their screen name and that's it. So like I like know people and I see them, I'm like, oh, that's, you know, Dingo 420. It's like, what? I don't know his name, real name.
RE45 here.
Round 1. Beginning
My 5th year of training started at Cabrini's. Oh, nice, nice.
First blood.
I might have asked you that question a couple weeks ago. If I did, I'm sorry. Like I said, I'm terrible at remembering things. So that's nice. That's awesome. As I was telling some people earlier, I'm about to hit my 7th year. Next month will be 7 years. 7 years of training, and I don't feel like any less desire to do it now than I did like when I started. So that's a good thing, I guess. Probably means I'm doing the right thing.
Evo shield here. Extended light mag here. Level 1. Energy ammo here. Power hop up here. Hammer point. No kill leader. We could check out here. Not for long, pal.
Understood.
Must go faster.
Oh, Jesus.
Here. Reload.
Fuck. Fudge. Shucks. Poop. Oh, dude, he jumped on that dude's head and he just wrecked everybody. That was terrible. That was embarrassing. That one dude wrecked the whole team. There was other people shooting, but he just jumped on those people's heads and killed them. It's terrible. Where do you train? Like, what region are you in right now? Southern California? Very cool. You definitely have your pick of really great places to train out that way. Like, you have a lot of good schools to choose from. Like, even the ones that I've never probably even heard of are really good out there.
I embrace it.
This area is pretty good for it too, as well, though. And I've never been to LA. I've been to San Diego last year, but not Los Angeles. Not sure if I want to necessarily. Might be something to visit, but San Diego is pretty good.
I'll lead us to where we claim.
I'm in Maryland, right outside of Baltimore. So, kind of between Baltimore and DC. Let's go to the cave.
Landing in this area yields a high probability for success.
Let's make a choice. Land here.
So there's actually Maryland has a lot of good schools in it. A number of good schools within my area to choose from and stuff.
I feel most alive when rapidly approaching my death.
And me and another person are about to open a small spot ourselves, so like a fantastic, amazing, great places are out there around here. So I don't know, you might feel like relocating, thinking about it, you know. Fudge.
Getting shot at.
They got me. I'm down. I don't even think to try.
They got down there faster than us.
Contact. They might be watching you.
Yep, see my gym just closed until the end of the month. They just made a post about it.
New kill leader appointed.
Contact with target.
Well, so it's kind of a mix of all types of things. I think it's a number of things. Obviously, like if you're talking about the last 20, 30 years, then it's obviously the UFC was a big part of that. But even in the last like 10 to 15 years, a lot of it's been I would say like the popularity of the Joe Rogan podcast really kind of getting to the point where everybody kind of knows about it. It's not a lot of people that don't know about it in some capacity. They talk about it on there all the time. So that's getting it. Like a lot of people I know that I have done jiu-jitsu for 4 years, 5 years, 2 years, 3 years, started because they were like, well, I just heard them talk about on the Joe Rogan podcast and all the stuff they were saying about it sounded interesting, so I give it a try. Like that has been a big part of stuff too. And then, like, as certain celebrities have started to do a little bit more, it gets into the public eye a little bit more, So it's kind of a mix. And then stuff like Instagram, YouTube, all that kind of stuff really pushes it. Now, if you're talking about, like, in terms of just jiu-jitsu as, like, a practice, and, like, there being a renaissance of essentially technique that's getting much better and just people getting much better, I 100% agree with that. And that's such a mix of everything. It's the YouTubes and Instagrams and just the ability for information. It's kind of like anything. Like if you wanted to really get knowledgeable about, I don't know, anything, you can now. You just got to find videos on it, watch things on it. You can get lectures on it. You can do all this stuff. So, but what I like about jiu-jitsu, especially from someone who's kind of trying to open a place and run a business out of it or whatever, is that you can't really replace jiu-jitsu with videos. Like you can learn stuff from videos and get ideas from videos and talk about concepts from videos and stuff like that. But if like you want to learn it, you got to go train, or at least have somebody to train with. Oh fuck! I should have done that much earlier. Aha! Oop. So, it used to be if someone was kind of working on a new technique, or like think about someone like Keenan Cornelius, for example, like the game he plays, the lapel stuff and everything. Imagine if there was no, like he was doing that with like his group of people in whatever area. Like I think he's still in San Diego. Actually, he is in San Diego still. You know, imagine if he was doing that, but there was no YouTube, there was no Instagram, there was no. It was like it was 30 years ago or 20 even 20 years ago, where like just that information just didn't go out. Like there was VHS. It was kind of like the best, or maybe a DVD here and there was the best you could get. And then you like it would take a very long time for people to start getting good at that and understanding it, because it's just not that information out there. But because, you know, you can just have essentially videos of all the matches he's done and what he's doing in them, and essentially, you know, he sells, you know, he can explain exactly what he does. It's just people get so much better at it so quick, which forces everybody to get better at dealing with it so much quicker. And it's just as that basically that competition of ideas and information that increases it's like, I can't say this as like someone with experience of being around that time and stuff, but I would venture to agree with Keenan's kind of observation that like a really, really good purple belt these days is probably as good as a black belt was in the 90s or something, simply because just the amount of information they have, the amount of time spent working on those things they have and everything. It's kind of like the average of what the average is in the community has gotten much
If I may be
better.
honest, I find death fascinating.
Come on, friend. Time to win.
This is your champion.
Just want to give a shout out to all my fans watching. Hola!
I'm the jump master. Follow me.
Huh. So I'm just reading up on some of the Ravens ongoings. They traded for a player from the some of the Jaguars today. Alright.
I say we land here.
Land. Sounds good to me.
Understood.
Div Dutch.
Prepare for certain death, Birdseye.
What time is it? 4:30, so it's 5. I think I might finish this game and call it a day for streaming and stuff. Got a couple other things I want to do. Maybe stream a little bit more later, but
Attention. First blood.
actually got to review
The cycle has
that
begun.
R99
Josh dude's videos. I'm actually happy about that. Ah, someone left there.
Round 1. Beginning
He done
ring
left us. Good,
countdown.
more loot for me. Give me all the loot. All the loot I can take. Yeah, yeah. Give me all the loot.
Using grapple.
Alright.
Shield here. Level
Div
1.
Dutch. No, you don't want the Evo? Oh, I want the Evo.
Might be something good this way.
There is a new kill leader.
Keep eyes on the new kill leader.
Depends on how big you are. And your size, I would get one kind of commensurate with your size and what you're gonna do with it. Yeah, I know, right? You know, I'm about 6 foot. I'm like between 6 foot, 6'1", and lanky 6'2" and 170. See, I'm shorter than you, and I outweigh you by like 40 pounds right now. That's crazy. So in that case, probably the biggest one. I mean, I don't know. There might be some like absurdly large yoga balls, but of the typical sizes, probably the large one is gonna be what you want, simply because your legs are so long, and I'm guessing your legs are pretty long if you're 6'2" and lanky. that would probably be my suggestion. The one I have, if you look on some of my other streams, I have a yoga ball in the background. I would say that size is probably what you're looking for, and that's the largest one I was able to get of the brands or whatever that I got. So,
Enemy taken down. I need shields.
45 seconds remaining. The ring is some distance.
oh Jesus! Ah.
Took out an enemy. Reloading.
Subject down.
Reloading.
Stealing all the stuff. So selfish. Give me all the stuff. I need it all. So I can be good. I'm so bad. What the hell is in my way?
Warning.
Boxer?
Ring closing.
The ring's moving, friends.
Yeah, no problem. I mean, that's why if I didn't want to answer people's questions or talk about things, I probably wouldn't be streaming and asking people to ask me questions. So I'm more than happy to help, especially when it comes to jiu-jitsu stuff or whatever like that. You know, there's no like guidebook necessarily, but there's a lot of people who get information. So, and it's weird because I started 7 years ago or whatever, and there was a lot of good information, but not even close to the amount of like information and helpfulness that there's out there these days. It's pretty crazy. Just the difference even like now compared to 7 years ago. I say like how much better it is, but just like how much more places there are, better training there is, more awareness there is. Like everything is just grown so much in the 7 years I've been doing it. So I see no reason to think it's all, you know. The only thing I think I worry about, to be honest, the most when it comes to jiu-jitsu as a whole and everything is kind of what happened to karate and all those other sports where, or martial arts, or not all karate, but, you know, where it became kind of like a very watered down thing because of the popularity of it, you know. You want to do business, you want to have more students, so you start promoting people a little faster because that keeps you more students, and then you're kind of wishy-washing, and yeah, you're like really watering down. So like that's kind of like my partner and I's vision for our place is kind of the opposite of all that, and not the opposite, but like how do I say this?
Zipline deployed.
You know where, yeah, like we don't, like we want you can have a place that people are happy to train at. I hear somebody. I'm getting out of here. Sorry. You know where like I guess the thing I'm trying to focus on the most.
Far off.
Is how to make it like an environment that people are happy to be at, have a good time.
Recharging shields.
But the point isn't getting stripes or getting belts and stuff. The point is the training, and that's a hard balance you have to have. It's kind of one of the reasons I believe like
Throwing frag.
I think you should have like a certain number of classes per class, you know, for each.
Reloaded. Take a deep breath.
I gotta get out of here. Too many. I think we're stuck between a couple squads there too. Like I think it's good to have like it's this many classes until you get a stripe and stuff at like for kids, and white belt up to blue belt. I think after blue belt, it should be for I guess the best way to say it is almost like performance based, you know, and not based on like tapping everybody. It has nothing to do with that. It's your skill in jiu-jitsu, not if you're a good wrestler and you can wreck, you know, all the white belts. It doesn't make you a blue belt. It's what it's about. But to have a place where like people want to train hard with each other, not hard with each other, but train with a purpose, smart training, but also an environment where it's like people enjoy being there. It's a good environment, you know. And I think sometimes people can get the enjoyable environment, but then they start giving out stripes, giving out belts, like, you know, it's candy, and it really breaks down what's a purple belt, blue belt, brown belt. What is this? You know? And there's always going to be differences, just because people have different skill levels and stuff like that. There's no two brown belts are essentially the same in sort of skill level, but there's kind of like a standard. And as you start to chip away at that, then all of a sudden, you know, is that guy a purple belt or a brown belt? Well, I don't know. You know, it becomes wishy-washy, and it shouldn't really matter ultimately. But one of the things that's important to me is not to be a big dojo. Like, you can be as big dojo as you want to be when it comes to customer service, cleanliness, professionalism, taking care of your members, stuff like that. But not when it comes to like promotions and stuff like that. And also having to understand the differences between different people. You know, if you have a 50-year-old person that started when they were 50 and they've been training for 2 years and they come once or twice a week and whatever, you know, and you know, them getting their blue belt at that point might be a little different than 22-year-old kid who trains, you know, twice a day, wrestles, and it's like they're gonna be do different things, two different blue belts, you know, but it's got to be based upon the same skills, I guess. So that's kind of like my philosophy on it is you can have a place, you know, where you take seriously promotions and take the jiu-jitsu seriously while still giving a great customer experience and giving a great family environment and all that kind of stuff. I don't think you have to compromise one for the other, but I see places that do. So, but I also could be wrong. I only have so much knowledge of what other places do and what their ideas and stuff are, you know, or what their philosophies or goals, and so I don't fault places for running however they run. It's why I kind of want to do my own thing and have my own spot, because, you know, short of like, you know, compromising and speaking with, you know, a business partner or someone that I've chosen, you know, I kind of have a lot of say into that kind of what the vibe of the place is going to be, because that's very, very important to me. Because it's like if I open a place or I have a place that I teach, or I'm the main person there kind of running things in whatever capacity, but it doesn't reflect me, it's not kind of what I want. But the good thing is it seems like the path is set ahead of me for that, so just working on it. I know I'm rambling now, but it's because I'm just... Did I finish that? Oh, never mind. So I got that. Do I care enough to go after this? See, I don't even want that. Like, I wouldn't even switch over my skin to that. What's this other thing? A little floppy disk so they can stick to one weapon. Yeah, that's not worth all that time. Oh, excellent. Thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you do need a little luck along with hard work and smart decisions, I guess, but we'll see how it goes. There we go. We're back. We'll see how it goes. But hey, if you follow my stream, keep up with me. We'll be doing streams from the place. We'll be talking about it a lot, so more than happy to you know, share our experiences with you guys. And if you're ever traveling and somehow end up in Maryland, please come through. It would be great. And vice versa, if I'm ever out in LA and you continue to get on my streams and we talk or whatever, I'll definitely hit you up about training out wherever it is you train. Because whenever I travel, I train. Like anytime I go to Yeah, excellent. Yeah. Yeah, whenever I have to travel for work or my wife has to travel something for work and I'm just kind of going along for whatever, I find whatever the closest place is, or if, I mean, obviously if there's a place that like, if we happen to be in like whatever, North Carolina and Charlotte or whatever, where Lucas Lepre's place is, like I'd go into Lucas Lepre's. But if I'm in a place, I just find the closest place and call them and say, hey, is it cool if I drop in? I'm going to be there this day or that day. And never had a bad experience. Always had good time, met good people. So that's what's awesome about it. Yep. Yeah, it's all right. I get traincation. Yeah. It's kind of, it's every vacation is a traincation, if I can. So, all right, I'm going to bounce off of here. Apparently my dog is sulking because I'm closed up in my room here and he's not getting the attention he deserves apparently. So I'm gonna go do that. But hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll be back to a normal stream next week. And keep eyes on my social media stuff, Instagram, whatever, because of all the shutdowns and all this other stuff. I might do a number of more streams throughout the week here in the evenings or whatever. Simply because if I can't go train places or I'm grabbing like one person to come over to my place to train, I'll just do a stream with them or whatever too. So anyway, so keep an eye out. And nice talking to you, Captain Camacho. Have a fantastic rest of your day. And we are ending stream.